I do know some of the more close to home stories, obviously. But for now, I'm going to be very happily surprised. So I'm excited. There's a lot of characters I like in this game, and well, let's hope that these players tread the ground of those characters.
I mean, as I said, from Aurora, we should be expecting Greninja or Ganondorf, and I think both are a treat to watch. I love
Ganon's hilarious.
Ganon is hilarious, and Greninja, when is mathematical, to be honest. Just the way he dissects his opponent. But we will be seeing the Ganondorf, which is way more funny, that's for sure.
The King of Evil versus the Buster Wolf. It's Terry versus Ganondorf, a matchup of the Super Sluggers as we go into our first game of the last set of Pool C.
And Terry's actually a character you could speak a lot on, I'm fairly certain, Alex, considering when you were active, you were playing this character a fair bit. Do you know anything about this matchup?
Who has a local Ganondorf? Not many people.
I have a local Ganondorf.
Well, everyone's got a pocket Ganon, I guess. But for now, it does look like the TheDutchDio is somewhat drowning to these just like huge hitboxes that Aurora's tossing out, and she's just getting away with them.
Yeah, right now Aurora's really spacing her moves quite nicely and just giving enough space to the TheDutchDio to not get punished, not have enough lag. However, TheDutchDio has finally been answering back with some moves of his own. A lot of damage put on just then, Galax, 109%, and we are in a ledge trap situation where Terry is incredibly strong.
Yeah, in a spot like this, you're happy to seek for a kill, and what the TheDutchDio's done is they've got a lock on the fact that Aurora doesn't SDI the power dunk. If you hit jab, if the person knows how to SDI it, they can work out of it every single time. They've got this lock on you're not getting out of it, so I can just do it. I've suddenly got my easiest kill confirm off of jab 1 whenever I want to do it. And yeah, that first stock goes quite comfortably, and with go ready to rock, the TheDutchDio is looking in a very comfy spot.
Oh, big read! Unfortunately got the Power Geyser instead of the Buster Wolf. However, the TheDutchDio is really putting on some percent right now. You can see it. He started swinging. He started just using whatever move he wants, Alex. And this is when Terry is truly terrifying.
Yeah, those go moves are making a big impression on Aurora. But the thing is, the TheDutchDio is kind of overestimating how heavy Ganondorf really is. Trying for that F tilt into Power Geyser just isn't going to work on him. Up tilt's the one, you land it, but with how heavy Ganondorf is, it's not killing.
Just as a note, did you see how quickly that Power Geyser came out and how quickly that input came out? The TheDutchDio is clearly quite practiced on the controller because these are lightning fast inputs, and I believe that is part of what's giving him a huge edge. Aurora, she finally answers back with a big up air, picture perfect edge guard. However, the TheDutchDio has managed to secure such a huge lead with go, which is why it's truly so threatening, because it just doesn't go away till he dies.
Big fan of that little 3-piece they got, by the way, off of the platform with the up throw. It's a setup that will kill off the top platform of Yoshi's, a very scary spot to be in. And speaking of scary spots, Aurora is starting to panic. That rolling could be brutal. TheDutchDio just doesn't quite catch the punish, though.
Yeah, a little bit of a drop on the down tilt. Buster Wolf, however, there is a lot of moves coming out from TheDutchDio right now that are putting on her 103%, and it's coming from the ledge. Terry incredibly strong for the ledge, has Crack Shoot, has Nair. There's so many faster buttons, but Aurora is finally kind of getting her own space in neutral, Alex, and as a result, she's finding way more hits, doesn't get the F tilt, and we do have go on Terry. However, Aurora is holding on until the Power Geyser comes through.
Yeah, the big kill move that you can just throw out because, hey, if you miss it, they're not really going to be able to close the distance. Your shield pops up. The TheDutchDio uses and abuses to take away game 1. Now, I'm interested to see if Aurora does counterpick to the Greninja from here, because in my experience, I struggle into Greninja, but I don't know if that's because Terry's like not good into it or because I'm bad. It's definitely one of the two.
I don't think Terry would have the easiest time. I don't think it's just you being bad, of course.
I've always found that I struggle to catch him.
Yeah.
He plays so aerially that really all Terry has for it is like Nair and up air, but obviously Nair's not going to work if they're not approaching face to face. So you get reduced to up air. What can you convert off of up air? Up B. That's it after that. And you get put in special full, so at lower percent. You've instead got to try and play bait and punish with your shield, and Greninja's shield pressure, as you know, silly.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that Aurora has the same amount of correct reads as you then with that character choice, because we will be seeing the Greninja coming out. And yeah, pretty much as you said, Greninja just has such a phenomenal bait and punish neutral. You have to respect it. He has the projectiles to pressure you and then just dashes back and forth, puts in strong fairs that are safe on shield, strong bears that are safe on shield, and just comes in slowly but surely and gets the damage when he gets in, more importantly, because he just hits so hard.
The other thing is that I've got like a good friend who's Greninja main. I've spoken to some other ones as well. Greninja doesn't sit in shield, really ever. If you watch Aurora, you'll see that she's flashed at shield a couple times, but she's rarely spent any time in it. Terry's got mad shield pressure and shield damage, and he picks up a lot of his kills when you panic drop your shield when you really shouldn't. You aren't putting Aurora in these situations because she's just in the air. That parry is huge, though, because that's the only way you're going to make the most of her touching your shield.
Yes, incredibly good parry. A lot of FGC players are very practiced with their parry punishes just because that is a huge way for them to open a neutral since all of them are quite slow. However, TheDutchDio is just taking this too slowly in general right now because Aurora is starting to run away with it, Dalax, and TheDutchDio falls down to the ground, maybe didn't have his jump anymore, and Aurora, with only 36% on her name, has got a stock lead.
I'm definitely becoming a bit of an Aurora fan. I love the way that she's almost had this momentum shift. Her Ganon's slow, it's methodical. It throws out hitboxes that it knows you can't deal with and covers as much space as it can. Her Greninja, it backpedals, it forces you to approach, and when you do, you eat a foot to the face because you dared to try.
Yeah, and right now Aurora's trying to pressure out. TheDutchDio gets an up throw. However, an up air immediately comes to respond, and you can't parry those multi-hits, of course, which the Greninja has a plethora of with this aerial. So much access to really strong pressure on Terry's shield, and as a result, I think TheDutchDio really just can't play his neutral game right now. Like you correctly pointed out at the beginning of this game, it just doesn't seem like he can effectuate that same Terry game plan, and so it's really hard for him right now to get an inch.
Yep, you're just not being able to touch the frog, and when you do, you find that power dunk. She's still not SDIing it. Greninja can definitely fall out of that a hell of a lot easier than Ganondorf can, but TheDutchDio's just remembered, I know you can't deal with that, so let's just keep doing it, you know?
Yeah, exactly, and we just see Aurora, as you said, in the air constantly. Terry doesn't have the ability to get up there, trying to use special moves to catch out, but not quite getting it. And of course,
oh no!
And TheDutchDio whiffs on that upbeat, doesn't quite fully commit to it, and as a result dies very early, and we're seeing a reversal of game one, Alex. It is Aurora who is now up 2 stocks and doesn't look like she's slowing down at all. Gets the up air. We will see another one. No!
Nice.
Very good disadvantage option.
I'm a big fan of the reversal there, just trying to do whatever you can, fall out the combo, get some damage back in your favor. With Aurora sitting so high on a fairly lightweight character, all it needs is a stray hit from the TheDutchDio, and it could send her first stock packing. That's what that power charge was seeking to do. We could see a couple stray burn knuckles, but as it is, the TheDutchDio keeps on going for these startup moves. And I get it, they're fast, they're safe, but she's ready for those approaches because they're stubbier, so she just hops out the way. She's playing safe. She wants the 3 stock. If you toss out a crazy fast, crazy scary burst option, though, there's a chance it could work.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. TheDutchDio's going for a lot of moves that could connect to it. They connect to the kill, and finally, he does get that down tilt into strong up B. That does manage to take the stock. However, there's so much work to be done on his side, Alex, because I think you're right. It doesn't really matter if Aurora drops that stock. She's going to play the exact same way. She'll get a bit of damage on her from this very nice confirm, but she's going to play the exact same way. She's just going to keep being evasive. She's not going to let TheDutchDio confirm. She's going to spend all of her time hanging around in the air or on the ground. However, TheDutchDio has finally got his mitts on her until he drops that, but picks it back up with the power geyser.
This is Terry's comeback factor in full force as they have managed to start worming their way inside of Aurora's head. Damage upon damage, hit upon hit. You've lost your second stock. What are you going to do? You need this kill. You need it soon. And there it is. The up air seals the deal.
We saw just then for the blue DI line, I don't think TheDutchDio was quite ready to have that up air just thrown in his face and wasn't really quite ready to go which direction. He might have been able to live it, even though it's at the top of the even though it's top of the blast zone, he might have been able to live it, but Aurora's just too quick with it.
I don't think you stood a chance. I think you were dead either way. Maybe not, but like I'd be giving up at that point. But no, this has been a very, very good set so far. It's been adaption and counter-adaption, and we saw at the end. Granted, a little bit was that secret ghost sauce, the little ingredient X that the TheDutchDio has in that kit, but they still managed to start making a comeback.
Indeed. It did seem like the TheDutchDio finally sort of got a hold of her at the very end. He finally realized what exactly he could add to his neutral to get a few more hits in, and because he only needs a few more hits, obviously, when he's doing so much damage per hit. However...
So Zanati, right, I have a bit of a crackhead take recently when it comes to Smash, specifically with Terry, and I need you to hear me out and see what you think.
Okay.
I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6. I have realized that there's a lot of characters like Greninja you can play like you're playing Street Fighter. You have anti-airs in your kit. Your up to up smash and rising tackle all act like, say, a DP would in Street Fighter. If they're jumping in and trying to land with a neutral air, if you do a charge rising tackle, it'll probably hit them cats and out. Granted, it's not like a forward air, that's disjointed, no chance. But I've become a big believer in Terry up smash as of the most recent months, and I think that might be some Street Fighter pill.
I don't think Maybe it's because you're Street Fighter Pill. That game is incredibly addictive.
Right?
However, Terry Up Smash is sort of an underutilized and undermentioned move, more importantly.
So it's so quick.
It's actually incredibly quick, and it is quite strong as well. It'll be killing Greninja around these 110s. If the Buster Wolf doesn't do it first, it'll be killing those Greninjas around those 110s. And yeah, it will actually catch a lot of the jump-ins. The question is if Aurora is ready for that, to be honest. She is pacing herself, I think, even more right now with these jump approaches. We're seeing a lot of retreating back airs and retreating fairs because she doesn't want to get hit by any of those go moves, any of those down tilts anymore. She's playing it so safe, but that safety is going to cost her because it is risk-taking that allows her to take a stock. And if you're not taking risks, you're not taking stocks, and you're not taking away, go.
Yeah, if I'm allowed to analyze for a second, it feels like the TheDutchDio is very lenient on just tossing options out. And it sounds really dumb, because that sounds very counterintuitive. Terry can, like there, Power Geyser would have just, boom, taken a stock. But they have been going exclusively for two-piece hits, or combo starters into hits. But sometimes just a raw Buster Wolf, a raw Power Geyser will do the job that you're seeking to do, the down tilts you start finding.
Speaking of two pieces, that down tilt fair will connect into and take the stock. And this is where Aurora has been incredibly strong. She's already picking it up. Doesn't get the back air. I think the up air is a bit ambitious. However, she's still in advantage state. She's still forced the TheDutchDio, who's finally managed to get back into center stage. We see now they're just dancing around each other. TheDutchDio gets a big read.
Lovely.
And we have Aurora off stage.
Brilliant little combo there, popping Aurora off the side of the stage and just making that percent rise and rise. And there's the kill. Once again, even if you lead that with the down tilt, it makes it even more SDI-able. It's just the moment that Terry catches on, you can't do that. You're going to get punished for it time and time again. If you want to win this matchup, that's something you need to know.
Yes, unfortunately, it doesn't seem Aurora has the knowledge to survive, and she better have the knowledge to stay alive right now, because as well, Go is coming out yet again. We see the up airs, and it will lead to percent very soon if the TheDutchDio can just get one of those roll reads correctly, or get any good out of shield option. Gets it grabbed, doesn't get the full hub on the up air. However, there is slowly but surely percent being racked on, and Daleks, the moment we're seeing at 50, honestly, I'm scared.
I am pretty terrified as well. The TheDutchDio have that go. If they can make it back to the stage, it's curtains, but just kind of realizes I'm too low. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure what happened there was trying to go for a charge rising tackle, realizing he hadn't charged it long enough, so just nothing came out. But like you pointed out, this is a scary spot now. There's no go, so it's not as terrifying as before, but your percent's still rising. You need to start capitalizing and pulling that lead back.
Yeah, I think stage is also working out so well for the TheDutchDio right now. This is a very good pick from him because this use of platform specifically, landing aerials off the platform and also just a bit more space from that central platform has created a lot more openings for him where Terry is more comfortable finding his hits, especially this little center area between the platforms. He's found so many grabs or up tilt or nairs or up throws, but right now Aurora is the one finding neutral wins. She finally loses that advantage state and TheDutchDio has her in the corner.
TheDutchDio moving in, gets the two-piece on the shield, just knows to call it a day. You're not going to get anything apart from disadvantage if you stay. And Aurora punishes hard, pushing the TheDutchDio all the way up. That's a dead Terry. Goodbye and good night, sunshine. We're going to game 4. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that up air drag down tilt F smash confirm. I've seen it a fair few times at this point. It's not new source. However, that back air catch is brilliant.
It doesn't matter if it's new source, old source. Source is source. And Aurora shows us that it can still taste just the same. What a brilliant end to a third game. All Aurora needs is to carry on this momentum into the fourth game. We could be seeing a nice little sweep for Aurora.
Yeah, and it's actually a very important element that we haven't quite mentioned is the edge guarding in this matchup. Greninja, along with having fantastic neutral, fantastic advantage, and alright disadvantage state, is an amazing edge guarder. He is so good, especially with the back airs, the 3 hits, one of the strongest back airs in the game, putting on serious damage and also sending your opponent away so far, and he can wait for so long because of the height of his double jump as well.
It's not even just how fast they are and how many pieces they are, it's the angles in RT, because the fighter sends dead horizontal. A Terry without a jump who's been sent horizontally is a dead Terry.
Exactly.
Your 2 horizontal movement options to get back to the stage, the burn knuckle or crack shoot, followed by a power dunk. What does power dunk do? It sends you downtown. So if you send him off to the left, he's gone. He's gone for good. So the TheDutchDio has to be really cautious with where he's using his jump. And I think he's been doing that pretty well so far. Aurora, though, really wants this kill, it looks like.
Yeah, she was just so patient with it last time, and she's so patient with it now as well. Finally finds the fair, and will be sending off stage, and we might see her as a consideration of the situation. We see push him off stage, and what an idea from Aurora, Daleks. That almost works out very, very well.
And speaking of working very, very well, finally, the TheDutchDio is tapping into the Hail Mary options, and they are working. Lovely hit on the shield, knowing that you can't punish it. Lovely chase up. You've gotten the download at this point, and that's a nice, secure kill.
We've seen a lot of those roll catches from TheDutchDio. It feels like every single time fresh shield. As you said, Greninja really doesn't like being stuck in shield. So what's she going to try to do? Escape the situation as fast as possible. One of the best escape options is roll. However, if the Terry catches onto that, he is going to make short work of that disadvantage.
Oh, most definitely. It also feels like Aurora keeps on expecting the TheDutchDio to land with reversal options. Because whenever she's hitting him in the air, she's not pushing an advantage, she's fading backwards, almost expecting him to try and challenge it. Ooh, very lovely catch there. But because she's caught, because the TheDutchDio's kind of caught onto that, he also just fades back. She's just dropping the combo and kind of giving him the space to go back to the ledge.
Yeah, right now, TheDutchDio looking out for those nairs as well. I feel like that's why. That's surely what's got her so scared. Nair from Terry is a move that probably should get even more talk than it already does. Incredibly active, incredibly good, confirms into next to everything.
Yep. And
so it will be the cornerstone of the TheDutchDio's neutral right now in trying to get that hit that will lead into that confirm, that will lead into that kill. And Aurora right now, she's trying to dance around them, but the TheDutchDio is catching her out, especially her landings, really nicely.
Brilliant parry, but you don't get a punish on that. You're still putting on the shield pressure, and Aurora knows what you do with it at this point. Knows to jump out, get away, retreat, and try again as the dash tag pops up into the back air. Are you going to force Terry into a worse and worse situation? No. Let him go to ledge. Try and work out the option here. It's all about the download. You're 2-1 up. You've still got the time to work out the little bits of minutiae of the matchup. What's your choice from ledge? What's your choice when you're put in a tech situation? It's all coming together now, I feel.
However, I also think that TheDutchDio is really figuring out something itself, especially the use of power of our wave. What a catch, by the way. Aurora sends him up with the Hydro Pump and then delivers with that down tilt F smash. But yeah, the TheDutchDio is now also making use of way more power wave as well, which obviously when you're spending as much time on the ground as you are as Greninja, is a very good way to sort of disrupt that offense. Offense that right now is going full steam ahead because Aurora is catching every option and has the TheDutchDio at ledge and is catching that move as well. TheDutchDio trying to pressure up the corner, but Aurora is not to be caught.
Aurora's playing a war step, and it does feel like the TheDutchDio is beginning to drown. Finally finds the rising tackle, takes her off the top. There's the stock. We're looking nice and even, especially if Aurora fails to kill TheDutchDio before he gets much higher, because we have seen what a demon this man is when he gets go up.
Ooh, TheDutchDio almost had a catch there, and yeah, you said it very correctly. It only takes 2 hits, maybe even 1, for the TheDutchDio to get started and just get this right back into even percent. The Aurora is dancing around it right now. She's being so patient.
Kill him now! Kill him now! There we go. 3-1. That is a beautiful set and definitely one to watch back. Also, I noticed something tonight that I figured I'd save to the very end. You remember how I was like, oh, Street Fighter Pilled, etc., etc., etc.?
Yeah.
The TheDutchDio's tagging game is to Memphis, which is like, are you Street Fighter 6?
We're all going down.
Yeah, to Memphis. Boom! Luke fan. I'm a big Luke fan.
In a sense, he did go down, though, considering... Unfortunately, the TheDutchDio will be sent to losers side of the bracket by Aurora, who managed to take that set very convincingly at the end. You mentioned how he was drowning. I would say she's water type because she's very slippery as well. TheDutchDio couldn't catch. She was patienting herself so well. And then when TheDutchDio finally gave away that key disadvantage option, that air dodge she caught a few times before, just in that game as well, she was ready to deliver on that punish.